Sagittarius. I've had to do your video so many times. Whatever you're going through, it must be driving you crazy. Crazy, I tell you. Now, we're going to get into your read. We're going to ease into it. For those of you, a very warm welcome. I'm Yildiz from Yildiz Readings. I'm a psychic medium as well as a twin flame. As well as I do try and connect in the moon phases as well as astrology. I'm going to explain to you for this month what's coming up for you, both psychically, astrologically speaking, and the houses that's been activated, as well as your romance house. Now, like I said, I've had to do this video about 5 times, and it's been for, the camera shutting down. So I'm feeling as though you guys are having to go and backtrack. Now, retrograde cycles usually do denote that. We're going back over old ground. It can be an arduous time where we're reflecting on old ways we were doing things and trying to fine-tune things, especially with the eclipses we had in July. That energy is still relevant till the end of the year, and we will be having more eclipses again. Now, we do have 2 planets going direct. We've got Jupiter on the 1st, and we have Uranus going retrograde on the 1st simultaneously. We also, on the 18th, have Saturn going direct, which is positive and negative. Doesn't have to be negative. It just means a shift in energy. It's like the father figure of universe. Now, Pluto will be going direct October 2nd. And the reason I'm bringing Pluto up is because the activation, Pluto's about births, deaths, resurrections, and new beginnings. Can it be fixed? What's going on? Now, it is falling in the energy of your finances, and it's more your relationship you're having with it, your belief. It can be your employment, especially with the nodes being in Cancer and Capricorn, and some things governed around those scenarios that are impacting you moving forward, but it can be a blockage spiritually. I really feel you guys might have been, having this belief connected to conditioning. It might be a belief system you have that there's a wall there, and because, and I'll give this a very broad kind of analogy. A bit like thinking something's happened and they've said you can't walk across the road, so therefore it's a virtual impossibility. So the acceptance of that is there, but the spiritual acceptance isn't there because you're trying to find a solution to it. Any blockages you guys have been having with it, I feel you're coming to terms with the fact that you're changing. You're outgrowing that belief system now, which is very positive because the lower chakras are being activated as your crowning energy. Now you've got sacral chakra and relationships. So this is the temptation. This is where the fire in the belly comes from, and the change of the situations, the connections, your relationships, and the dynamics of how positively and negatively they may be directly affecting you. This can be also with the Pisces moon coming up this month for you guys. You're going to be going through a changing scenario. Now, you're going to be probably more emotional when it does come to your psychological foundation, because it falls in your 4th house. Domestic issues, endings, parents, and home. There can be some teething problems around these areas. The positive thing is with Jupiter going direct, you're going to have the energy to try and get some of the old projects that very separately to these dynamics had been hindering you. So it might be tackling the actual physical foundations, looking at things, having the empath aspect to it, and trying to find a way to smooth the soil over to proceed forward. Now, by September with the Libran moon, the 11th house is activated, and it's friends, clubs, associates, and aspirations. And it's interesting because the Pelican totem, I pulled a totem card for you guys. This is for the Libran moon. It is connected to that. It's where there are people in your life potentially causing adverse effects that could be impacting you. Now, sometimes it's not necessarily that you stop doing those things. And again, with Uranus going retrograde for the 11th house, it's interesting that it's friends, clubs, associations, and aspirations, because this can be connected to pastimes and luxuries and things you like doing. That all of a sudden it could be to the detriment of the foundation of particular scenarios. So you may be spreading yourself too fine. You might have had some pastimes that you like to do. Now, with the planet going retrograde, you can be reflecting over whether that was in your best interest. And you may be forming new things that you want to discover. you'll find the reflection of the old will be quite in your face during that time. To clear the path for 2020 to see whether it resonates with you any longer. And it's not to say that these are bad things. These can be super great things. The Virgo moon last month was asking us to get that health check, to get some downtime. You know, maybe spreading yourself too fine and giving to too many scenarios of higher and lower frequency. It was directly impacting your health and your sanity and affecting the physical foundation. Now, you did get the kangaroo totem for the Pisces moon at the beginning of the month. And it's also a clarification card. You got Dream Traveler. So you may have lots of hopes and dreams that you're wanting to achieve, but there's teething problems surrounding these areas. And again, there's something in the structure and the foundation. Do some base chakra work, because foundational related issues, again, can stem from childhood wounds. And the belief systems being activated with the Pluto energy is to do with your conditioning and beliefs about money. So this is causing a blockage. It can be opinions of mother, father, and it's not that they're wrong. It's just I feel you've outgrown them. And definitely with this transit moving into 2024, this is going to be a theme that's going to be coming up quite a bit. Now, in the retrograde, the bonus is you're having that time to dissolve some of those belief systems and those blockages spiritually. So you are going to need to pay attention to the pain body experiences you're having in the retrograde and how you're relating to them in the direct, because this is through to 2024, okay? So it will be a common theme you're going to be working on, and there is mass ability for you guys to be super successful, but these blockages are preventing you from moving forward. So it's imperative that you start looking at those if you feel this directly resonates with you. Now, by the Libran moon, it's where the balance is coming from, and again, you know, maybe having a little bit more time to actually do some things that are beneficial to you, but be cautious with that fourth house. It may be you need some downtime to do things. Again, with Uranus going retrograde, although it's falling in the Libran moon cycle, you need to be careful to keep the balance. Try and keep the balance, but do things that make you feel happy. I do feel this is going to be very important, but it's also with the Pelican totem, it does directly relate to that. So it can be a time of networking. It can be a time of actually looking at things and going, okay, do I need to branch out? Some of you, I feel energetically, are getting to a point you're looking at a different career. Some of you also understand that you've been limiting yourself. But you also, with your relationship with the cash component, is a self-worth vibration. So if you find you've been struggling, again, it's a belief system and a blockage within the chakras, but it can be past life as well as this current life, childhood conditioning and a belief system due to some scenarios that occurred. It can be a very exhausting energy. By October, you're going to have the 12th house activated. Now, this is a very, very intuitive time for you. So I'd say by mid-month, you're going to find your intuition's going to be really heightened. You have some great ideas going on, and this is really what's been shown to me, but it's like you feel guilty to jump and do them. You're unsure whether it's going to be successful. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. But the foundation needs to be set. Now, your first energy is into the ethers. You sent a request, something that you'd really been wanting, and this is in your career sector, where you're moving towards, the work you're putting in, your finances. But you're going to have to move some things that don't work. Now, the retrograde helps us see what you had been doing versus what hasn't been working and what to do to proceed forward. Jupiter direct is going to help you take the bull by the horns with that. You've got a lot of ideas, and this is coming through by mid-month. Unlimited ideas. 12th house will be activated next month for you guys. What you got to get is that you're going to find that, I'd say by the Libran moon, you may be actually intuitively receiving some of the next month's energy. That's what I've sort of been finding lately. So we're in two dual energies simultaneously. And once you've moved through a frequency and you've alchemized it, you're already moving on to the next energy of the moon, regardless of it being here, especially with the astrological aspects that's coming through. The unlimited ideas, again, it's purple. It is the crown chakra. And with the 12th house being activated, which is your subconscious mind in October, which I'll mention in the other video, your abundance mindset comes from your crown, okay? But also knowing anything of a self-worth energy, which is the Pluto energy that it's trying to teach you. This is a transit you're going through spiritually between now and 2024. Other aspects obviously will be made. But again, the balance with family and institutes, family and work, tribe and work is all being activated, as well as, are you letting things get in the way? Are things imbalanced? Do you need to do something to change that? Focus on you. Do the work, okay? Jump in, do what you feel is going to connect with you. If this means researching a new skill, do such. If it means getting the foundation ready for a business venture, Jupiter direct is going to give you the ability to start doing that. Anything of a download sense that you've had is going to help you proceed forward. Successful funding. Some of you are refinancing. Again, looking at things and shuffling them, but also gaining that connection with abundance mindset. I do feel some of you might have been working too hard, or been working hard but not getting what you're entitled to, as well as feeling at times you're more than the cash component. Good, because you are more than the cash component. There is a change happening, and anything you're wanting to achieve. This successful funding, I feel, is actually coming from you. Some of you, it's if you're wanting to start a business and you have that grand idea, it will be coming. But I do feel some of you are refinancing. Some of you are getting to a point where you're trying to get your finances in order, and you're following your intuition, because there has been a wake-up call, and again, it's connected to Pluto. Correcting mistakes, changing things, learning from what the retrograde cycle has given you. And it's not that through those lessons it means everything's shredded away and taken from you. Farther from the fact, it's usually you're moving forward with more information than you previously had, because when the planets are direct, it's almost like we're very dense in the 3D. We can feel and sense the 5D, which I'd say between now and 2020, we're moving more into 5D. Correcting your mistakes is seeing where the flaws were in the plan, in the foundation, and proceeding forward. Taking the information you gained, not quitting, tackling it in a different way. Being of service. You know, do what you need to do. Trust in the process. You've had your light bulb moments. Do what you can to get back on your correct track of what you feel's right. Now, we're going to get into the romance read. And you know, last time when I did the read, there were 3 energies coming through. Now, some of you might have gone through a breakup, and there was an old energy coming through, and I did pull the cards again. I did get a few separate cards, but I'm still going to relay that message because it was a very relevant message. Some of you have a pain body experience either on your side or your partner's side. Love interest. It doesn't have to be you physically with them, because I am a twin flame, and you spiritually interconnect with each other regardless. So some of you actually are having a pain body experience, and you're triggered and spiritually blocked due to a past tense betrayal. This could be on both sides of the fence, or it could be directly together. But the card did come through in the initial read. There is healing going on connected to that, but again, I'm feeling past life, past tense connections or scenarios coming back to be healed in some shape or form. Again, this can be directly impacting your beliefs moving forward. Are you safe? Is it okay? Are you worthy? Those things are shifting. And with the Pluto direct, that purging that you're going to be going through is going to help heal that situation. But Saturn as well. Let me have a look where Aries is for your first house. Where did I put my charts? Bear with me. I don't look that attractive today, but we'll live, won't we? Let's have a look where Aries is. Bear with me. So organised. Like I said, I've had to do this video several times, so we will work through these energies. I had them here. You need to look where your Chiron energy is. I think I put them on the other table. Because for you guys, you know, looking at the energy where Chiron is with your wounds, oh, here it is. Okay, Aries is your 5th house. Now, your 5th house activation is your romance, your birth, your children, and your luck. I kept hearing Aries in my head. Now, obviously with Chiron, in the 1st house at a very general level, it's where we look at ourselves and understand. Now, it's activated in your romance house. So a lot of your energy to do with your wounds, you're taking a lot of accountability about how you partook in situations versus how other people, but taking accountanship on your side of the fence and looking at how you can feel about that. Again, a lot of pain body experiences do directly link back to childhood. So unfortunately, the work that we do, subliminally, the trigger point that comes to us is directly from situations that occur in the new here and now. But a lot of the old pain body experience and the reason we get so triggered is due to childhood related dynamics. So when we find closure and understanding and we gain perspective from various time frames and space in between it, we look at it in a different way. And that's really what's coming through. Now, for both of you, there is some sense of a celebration. This could have been something that occurred quite recently. It's the crowning energy. You know, you want to have that happy ending. You want to get to a point where you can have this happy ending. And again, I'm seeing with the 3, it's almost like masculine, feminine, and the Trinity, you know, the triangle, actually getting to a point where this spiritual connection is formed and very balanced. But also this could be around a time frame of a birthday, an anniversary, where there is going to be a celebration. You also may be feeling more like you would like more time to socialize. And again, with the 11th house, although you have this connection, for those of you who are in a connection, it's like you're torn in 2 different ways and you need to be very careful. You do need time for yourself, but it's coming to that healthy compromise to balance the foundation out. Overall, this connection is going to go the difference. The anchored energy is, some of you are already in a connection. Some of you have this spiritual connection, you know what it is, and it's very anchored in. But it's how to simultaneously have that connection versus be uniquely yourself. In your headspace, there could be some triggers that come up, okay? At an emotional level, and it's coming into your mind, and it's taking you back. External to you, what's going on, you know, you're looking around at scenarios of what could be, how things could have been. It could be people coming towards you, offering you fairy tales. Again, it's like I'm seeing more regressing back, but several ways this could go. That's what I'm being told. Now, on their side of the fence and their headspace, this could, the energies can swap, okay? So although I'm saying this is Sagittarius' side, take the energy of how it relates, because you guys could be mirroring each other, especially if you're soulmate twin flames. So each energy could be, hey, hang on a minute, that's my partner's energy, that's not my energy. So it could be one of you are feeling a little bit jealous, the other is feeling one isn't learning a karmic lesson. External, there is clashes of will and ego going on. He said this, she said that, she said, he said, you get my point. Now, in the heart, there is loyalty to this connection. And again, celebration, wanting a celebration, wanting to energetically be in this connection and it to go the distance. Now, you or your counterpart is going into hermit mode. They're tuning into what they're feeling. They might be a little bit distant, a little bit reflective. External of what they're putting their energy into is tuning into where it didn't go right. And again, with Pluto direct, especially if you look at their zodiac sign, both of you are looking at, through the retrogrades and the directs, what didn't work, what is working, and what can we do to move this situation forward. External to you, there might be a lot of people around you that are being a little bit needy, a little bit emotional, and you're seeing an aspect of yourself inside of these people. I'm feeling like both of you are going through a healing. You're just doing it in a different way. There are going to be some conversations that come up for those of you in communication. And I'm going to read these upright, if I haven't told you that, because they're direct messages, those cards. I'll take those two. Okay, your partner's thinking things through. They're like, I need to think on this. I'm not going to jump the gun. I'm going to hear you out. I'm going to feel it out. They haven't stopped thinking yet, but they are thinking very deeply about this, but they're being very rational. They're also facing their own shadow, and they're understanding an aspect of what's going on with them, and it can be fear-based frequencies coming up. You're needing to laugh at your demons because you are actually mirroring each other. Both of you are making sacrifices in order to have this happy ending. Regardless of being together or not, there are some things that you're moving and shifting energetically to bring this balance back. But Sage, you guys are going through an upgrade, as I said, and with the 12th house being activated in October, that's really going to help you anchor that energy in. Both of you are needing to, and it's so strange, the connection's there. The spiritual connection's there, be it you're in a partnership or you're single, there is a connection here, but you're really quite singular energies at the moment, and it is because you're both healing and you're correcting and adjusting to everything, trying to get the foundation, so it's very 3D at the moment. So the nurturing yourself first comes in. You know, although this falls on the Two of Cups and the connection, it's like both of you might have had a lot going on where, you know, shadow aspects are coming through. Yes, I do feel this is a past life connection, but you're having to get to a place where, regardless of whether this is a soulmate energy, a karmic energy, or a twin flame, you energetically will know. This is past life related though. The meditation your counterpart's going through is to gain clarity on it, but there are things, there's always reasons why we as people are brought together. But you're both having an upgrade. You might get a little bit fluey moving into the 12th house activation, because it is where your subconscious mind opens, and when you have too many downloads, especially with retrogrades, you can get sick. Last message. What do they need to know? I'm also seeing communication's the key, but you guys are going to be pardon me. You're facing your adversities. They are taking the lead of what they feel's right. And again, it's saying it twice. Love yourself first. Like, you guys are needing a little bit of downtime. It can be very separately. If you're in a loving relationship, there's too many people needing on you, and you're going into hermit mode together collectively and needing to have some more time. But I'm feeling for many of you, it's not that the love isn't here. Some of you know. But for a pocket of you, there is an energy coming through where you're needing to do something spiritual for yourselves, just temporarily, to get the foundation right, because you've got your physical foundation activated in your 4th house and you have your 11th house activated. So it's getting back to doing some nice things for yourself. Love and light. I'll see you during the month.